So Delia, your team have cooked up a really good season.
Oh, the word recipe's banned, all right?
I had to get that. No, I mean, you must be thrilled again. What was it, 5 promotions for you now?
Yeah.
If you count League One, yes.
Yeah.
That's.
But tell us about it. I mean, when did you first know you were going to get promoted, or suspect you might get promoted?
Suspect.
Well, as soon as we got to the top of the table, obviously we were, gearing ourselves up that it might happen. But I didn't know 10 minutes before the whistle went on Saturday. I didn't know then. I was.
Has this been the most exciting promotion for you?
Yes.
Is it unexpected?
Definitely. Not so much unexpected for me, because I knew 18 months ago what was happening here was going to get somewhere, So it wasn't so much of a surprise to me.
And they haven't spent very much money at the club in getting promoted, not as much as other clubs have who haven't been successful this year.
Yeah, that's another word that's banned. Recipes, money. No money.
We haven't got any.
I know it's banned, but Stuart Webber's just guaranteed us that Norwich will spend the least next season of all Premier League clubs. That must be quite good news from an owner point of view.
Yeah, very good.
Sorry, did he say spend less?
To spend the least in the
the
next
least.
season.
Oh, good man.
Good man. We have in the past, though, been sort of egging them on to spend a bit more. So.
Right. I mean, how impressive is Stuart in particular? Because he's come into a club when, financially there were issues after getting relegated, and whilst the players and Daniel as well in particular have gone out and done it, he seems to have played a very significant role in getting the club to where they are. So, and all the football people you've met over the years, how impressive is Stuart Webber?
I would just describe him with one word: genius.
Really? I
think he's amazing. And I think he's a genius, and I think we're extremely lucky. And I heard your interview, with him, and when he was choosing a manager, I can't tell you how thorough he was. So he just arrived. First thing he had to do was get a manager, and I can't tell you how thorough he was, and how he was going back and doing another interview and checking, and so I couldn't help saying to him, that time when he was getting the manager, I said, "Do you think we can get back in the Premier League?" And he said, "I do," he said, "but it will take at least 18 months.
Took a wee bit longer, in fact.
I would say that bang on cue when the 18 months, we were top.
I think what possibly people don't see is the amount of hard work he puts into the job. I mean, you ask someone at Carrow Road, has anyone seen him? Right? Oh no, he's in Portugal or he's in Brazil or something. He really does.
He goes for the day.
He only goes for the day. Never puts up at a luxury hotel or anything like that.
So when he first came to you with some of these players that in England we weren't so aware of, who've gone on to be phenomenal successes. I mean, Timo Pukki would be the prime example, but there are many more in the squad. Mm-hmm. Was it instantly, we have full faith in what you're doing, and we haven't heard of these players, but we really think you know what you're doing, so instantly backing him? Or were there moments where you were thinking, I haven't heard of him, looked at his record, hasn't really done it, are you sure about this?
Yeah, we've had lots of names here in the past that haven't always worked out. No, so actually it was quite refreshing. It was really quite refreshing. But just before he came, we had, as a football club, sort of changed gear, if you like, and we had made a decision that the way we wanted the football club to be was very much a team behind the scenes, a team, on the pitch as well. But we wanted to make a football club that would surround, the coaching team, the manager, with support and help and become, if you like, one. And I think, that has had a big influence as well on what's happened.
and you describe him as a genius. I mean, anyone listening probably their ears will prick up at that comment in particular. I mean, do you worry, or do you expect one day that he'll move on to one of the bigger clubs in England or even Europe with the way he's going?
Yes.
Well, I think he's got his eyes on Barcelona.
He has.
I think he has.
Genuine.
He has. So we've got to glean as much as we can from it. But I still think, his vision and our vision of having this sort of complete oneness between everybody is, I think, the way forward.
And of course, Daniel has been mastermind of the team, done a fantastic job. A lot of other owners after last season, finishing 14th. I remember coming to watch you guys play Ipswich, the 1-1 draw back in February 2018, and I don't think anyone really would have expected, well, perhaps, as you said earlier, maybe you did, but a lot of impartial people wouldn't have expected the team to go on to do what they did. And it was a little bit of a tricky start to the season. Have you always had full faith in him, or were there moments when you were sort of slightly doubting
No, not at all. But can I ask you all a question? You bring in a manager, he's got a team of players who he didn't choose, he's got no money, and then he has to sell his 2 best players. I mean, I want to know from you. Everyone says, oh, well, we only finished 14th, Why would we not finish 14th? When that's how you start to rebuild, isn't it? You've got to rebuild. And the one thing I do know, I can speak with authority now, after 20 years, is you have to give people time. I really believe that.
On that subject, Delia, you've almost rebuilt this club 3 times, haven't you? When you first came in...
Not personally.
Well, under your ownership. When you first came in, there was the aftermath of Robert Chase.
Yeah.
You had to start again in League One.
Yeah.
And you had to start again a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
How much energy have you got to keep doing this time and time again? Because football changes so quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And we are very, very old now. But I'm sorry, I have this theory in life that bodies age but souls don't. So I'm still 19 inside.
Delia, apart from Crystal Palace, no other club has been promoted and relegated as many times as Norwich City. So does this feeling now make up for all those feelings of hurt that you've...
Oh, definitely. That's also what experience brings with it. You know it's going to be agony and ecstasy. That's it. That's the name of the game, isn't it?
I think real supporters have got a selective memory anyway, and it's the successes you remember, and you tend to put out the failures. So in fact, actually, I was thinking about it. You talk about promotions. I think it's unrealised, but we've had 6 Scottish managers under us, which is it's a good trivia question, isn't it?
And last time Norwich got promoted, they came up through the playoffs. Pundits always say that's a disadvantage because you've got less time to prepare. So now you've gone up automatically. Have the preparations already begun?
Yeah, they began, a long time ago. I mean, I think the last 3 board meetings, it's been if it's this, it's this, and if it's this, it's this. They've done a lot of work already.
Just finally, in December, you personally baked a rainbow layer of cake to
Yes.
support LGBT
Yes.
inclusion.
Yes.
Tell us why you wanted to do that, and is that something...
Because I do support it utterly and passionately.
Can we expect it next season?
What?
Can we expect it again next season?
Yes, definitely.
As fans, how important was it to win promotion playing a certain style of football?
Well, it was just, we had, I heard you say before, we've just had a lovely, entertaining season of football. We've had and we have to say the Championship is a wonderful league because, you get everything, don't you? You get absolutely everything. And I think the style of football and the way we've played and the way Daniel has stuck to it, has been magnificent.
And can that style work at the higher league, do you think?
Well, we don't know, do we?
We're
now going into uncharted territory, but I absolutely agree with Stuart. we just carry on doing what we've been doing, the way we've been doing it, with the same, hopefully, the same close-knit team that we've got here. And I think, I'm hoping that will work. We have the benefit now of seeing how much money hasn't worked. You know, there was a time when it was just money or not, but we have seen now how it's failed miserably. So, but I think if you've got a board of directors and the staff, all the staff here, Carrow Road, everywhere, have played a part in this season. Everybody.
And of your 4 teams who've been promoted to the Premier League, do you feel this one, in terms of the players and the coach, is maybe the best equipped to thrive in the Premier League?
I don't really know.
Technically, possibly so, yes. But of course, their real strength was playing as a team, not having any stars. Although I can't actually think of a promoted Norwich side that had huge stars. But I mean, there were the Darren Huckabees and the Ron Holtz and have you, but even they were very much team men, I think.
Off the pitch, how would you compare where the club is today to where it was when Paul Stewart and Daniel came in a couple of years ago?
Unrecognisable. One of the great things for Michael and me has been that this particular team has been very inclusive of us, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And one of the really things I've appreciated the most, which has been lovely for me, is on a match day in the director's room, we will most match days have a player who's injured, or we'll have a player's parents, or we'll have... So we've really got to know the players, and we've really got to know their parents. That's made a huge difference, you know. I mean, when you're sitting next to Madison's mum and dad and they're saying, Daniel's made such a difference to his game. I mean, for us, that's really lovely.
I got to know who we're talking to, and well, at least some of the time, because what happens is they all wear beards now, and I really some I can't tell one from the other, but anyway.
Yeah, we had all Pookie's parents on Boxing Day. Not Pookie's parents, the whole of Pookie's family. Don't we? 6 on Boxing Day round our table. See, that's making it so much more of a family, of a, you know, relating to one another.
And does that mean that the threat of maybe losing an individual doesn't matter so much because you've got that sort of togetherness?
Definitely. The other thing that's been amazing is the way we've, you know, the attitude here is we need to learn. We need to keep learning and keep learning. And we've had some wonderful speakers that have come, thanks to Stuart, come to the staff and the players. So we had Gareth Thomas, and then we had Ant Middleton, and then we had Damien Hughes, who has written, you know, The Barca Way, which is a book that is just the most amazing book, and we learn a lot from the book as well. And he came, and they've spoken to the players, spoken to all the staff in Carrow Road. We've also had sort of academy workshop evenings where we've had speakers in to speak to the academy players' parents about what, you know, the pitfalls are. When you've got a young guy, this is what you've got to be careful of. So the first one was on mental health, and the second one was on addiction and the sort of the dangers of
gambling,
social media. I can't remember what the other one was now. Anyway, we've had 3 of those workshops. We've had, you know, 60 or so academy parents attending them, and it's just, you know, you just feel like we're bringing something's happening.
That kind of pastoral care, that family feel.
Yes.
I mean, how does that contrast when you first got into football and what football was like?
Well, it's been a complete sea change, obviously. I can't answer for how other clubs conduct themselves in that respect, but I mean, it's been a priority with us. That it follows on from the family idea. But it's all very well having a family consensus, as it were, but unless you actually do something positive about it, it doesn't really fulfil its potential.
One thing Stuart spoke about just now was how earlier in the season, in the build-up to before the last week really, Leeds and maybe Aston Villa were taking more of the headlines nationally. Would you agree with that? And if so, how do you feel about perhaps going under the radar a bit this season?
Love it. I think my first reaction when I was first interviewed was to say, they said, what's done it? And I said, hard work and humility. And I think those two words really apply to what's happening here. And we love being under the radar. It's wonderful, isn't it?
Mm.
And as super fans rather than owners, what would it mean to win the title on Sunday?
It's something we seriously want to do. But, I mean, in a sense, being promoted has been such a joy and a surprise in a way that we could forgive them if they don't. Well, we might. I don't know. We should do it.
It's job done, really, but for Daniel and those players, and I haven't mentioned the players, I mean, I think those players have just worked and worked. They really have, and they deserve, the players and Daniel, they deserve that. So we're going to be screaming and shouting, or I am anyway.
You mentioned that family feel about the whole club. How pleasing is it to have Aarons and Cantwell and Lewis in the first team and playing so well and doing so well?
Amazing. I mean, I can remember, Stuart doesn't talk to anybody when there's a match, he just sits there. And I can remember at Birmingham away, Stuart tapping me on the shoulder. He said, I just want you to know, Delia, that Daniel is taking a huge risk. He's putting one of the younger players into the squad today. And a couple of matches later, he was scoring at Chelsea. So, that is the joy, and of course that has to be the future.
I was going to say, because of their success in the team, does that help you in terms of future recruitment of you?
It does indeed. It does indeed. But also, we don't have any choice. I said we wouldn't mention money, so perhaps we shouldn't mention money, but that is the way we're going for the future. And when you see that academy building, it's going to blow your mind. I mean, we went in the other day, didn't we?
Hard hats and everything.
Hard hats and everything. And that is a testament to the future of this football club, because that's the only way we're going to survive. And early on when I was the board director, I've told some of you this before, but I went to visit Auxerre Football Club in France, and I met the famous Guy Roux, 44 years a manager. Isn't that wonderful? If only we could have Daniel for 44 years. And the first thing he said to me, he didn't speak very much English, but the first thing he said to me was, I never buy players, I only make them. And this academy was amazing. They had any kids in the community, which Auxerre is about the size of Thetford. So any kids can come in and have coaching free. And then they had such a brilliant academy because they had the housing for the students. So you had the sort of under 11 house and the under 14. And it was just amazing. And so I did have a little bit of a dream then that I'm still hoping for that one day as well, to have an academy, where everybody's under the same roof. But what a lovely thought. Isn't that a lovely sort of thing to have in your mind, We just make players. And then he said, I don't have any scouts either. So he said, oh, wait a minute, I have 2. So I said, what do they do? He said, nightclubs. He said, once, fine, twice, out.
Does that influence of youth, given that the club has maybe had fingers burnt a little bit when they tried to spend big money, your Ricky Van Wolfs, Wickles, whatever, all that stuff in the past, does that make this the most satisfying promotion? This is the 4th one. The bargain buys, the Wendy's, the Pookies, does that make it the most satisfying one?
It does.
No question. Yeah.
It does. But I mean it when I say I could see it coming. I mean, Stuart said we might not do it, so we just have to go again. You know, that's the attitude. We just heads down, work hard, stay humble, and keep a low profile if you can.
This isn't the first time the club has been in the Premier League, clearly. You've both had quite a bit of experience as majority shareholders up there. What big lessons do you think you can take from the past, from sort of mixing it with the great and the good in the past?
I think keeping your feet on the ground. You know, I have seen what Premier League can do to certain people. You know, suddenly there's a bit of a swagger going on, and, you know, that's the worst thing of all. What would you say?
I think I think we've got to be not frightened. We've got to be brave. And I don't think those guys. Of course, they're apprehensive at beginning matches, and they maybe if they're Old Trafford or something. But by and large, they're very strong characters, and they've got to stick to that.
In Damien Hughes' book, there's a little quote from somebody, and it says, "If you can get a group of people, a team together, you can change the world."